It's not every day we tell you about a fraud case from the state of Florida.
But it's not every day the suspect is a man from our area, accused of repeatedly defrauding people and leaving them empty-handed. We first told you about Edward Carmine Jarzabek in 2014. I did a story on him as he was handing out stacks of cash to people living on the streets of Spokane. He said he had money and had rich friends and wanted to draw attention to the homeless issue. But something didn't quite make sense, so I asked him about his past.
Yes.
You're on parole.
Yes.
You've been arrested for grand theft, insufficient funds for writing checks.
That is correct.
In fact, he'd only been out of jail 90 days at that point for a fraud charge that he's still on parole for. And according to court documents in several states, he's continued to break the law.
This is a 4 News Now exclusive, years in the making. Melissa Luck is here with what she's uncovered.
Well, it's been almost 7 years since we did that first story on Edward Jarzabek, and I still hear from people, a few every year, who have done business with him or rented him property, who say Jarzabek has ripped them off. I get enough of them. I have a folder in my email under his name. Some of those have turned into complaints with the state. Some have been resolved on their own. But a new case in Florida may unravel this alleged scheme for good.
You guys want some money? Yeah, money. Money. You guys want some?
Yes, please.
The first time we met Edward Jarzabek, he was giving away money to homeless people on the streets of Spokane. Stacks of 20s, in fact, saying he wanted to be anonymous, but videotaping it and talking to reporters about it.
The whole purpose of doing all of this is to bring awareness to the homeless situation in Spokane.
But court documents say Jarzabek is more likely to take money than give it away. And years after he served prison time for defrauding people through bad car sale deals in Idaho, he's facing felony charges for doing it again, this time in Florida. No one would talk to us on the record about the case, so what we know from police reports and court documents. Prosecutors say Jarzabek sold a GMC Jimmy on eBay to a guy in Florida. The man paid the money via wire transfer to Ed Jarzabek's account in Spokane Valley, but he never got the vehicle, and the eBay account for the seller was deleted. After reviewing the case, the detective writes, it was apparent the victim was scammed and the vehicle sold likely never existed. Court documents from that case accused Jarzabek of defrauding at least 3 people through car sales on eBay. The victim in Florida, a guy in Illinois, and another man in Indiana. All this time, Jarzabek has been on parole in the state of Idaho, stemming from a grand theft conviction for which he served prison time and is currently considered a fugitive. A detective on the case put it this way, quote, Edward Jarzabek is a known repeat offender with a long history of fraud. At one point, while on parole, Jarzabek was operating Mountain West Motors in Spokane Valley. Records from the Washington Attorney General's office show numerous complaints about damaged vehicles and missing titles. Court documents detail a trail of deception all over the country. If you look at social media, you see a man living a privileged life in Beverly Hills. But he told the court in Florida he made just over 50 grand last year and had no other assets and needed a public defender. Looking further into those court documents, you see allegations of a scheme unraveled. In the past, he's claimed to work at venture capital firms, businesses detectives say do not exist. On one website, Jarzabek claims to have attended Stanford Law School. And this. Detectives in the Florida case traced a phone used in the eBay fraud. It came back to Jarzabek's known email address and date of birth, but it was paid for with a credit card in his daughter's name. A detective writes, quote, I located multiple Twitter accounts where he posts images of himself and what is believed to be his daughter, who is visibly under the age of 10. Of all the accusations against him, the allegations about that credit card are the ones he most vehemently denies. And in fact, Edward Jarzabek denies all of the charges against him. We were supposed to do an interview. He did cancel twice. He did send a statement, and he asked me to use this picture of him where he said his hair looked nice and he had a bit of a tan. In the statement, he said, quote, the allegations provided in the complaint by the DeSoto County Sheriff's Office are a fabricated array of lies and misleading, unsubstantiated information intended to direct a false narrative. Once the actual facts come out in a court of law, we are confident this case will be fully dismissed. I should mention, even after this story was fully edited last night, I discovered another civil lawsuit against Edward Jarzabek for a car sale, this one in California. In this case, like others, he's accused of taking someone's money and never delivering. I'm Melissa Luck, 4 News Now.